AI phone callers are revolutionizing how we communicate with leads and book appointments. AI callers can book appointments at scale by calling hundreds of leads at the same time and booking them directly into our calendar. With innovations in the AI caller space, these systems sound extremely realistic and are incredibly quick to respond.
Hey, welcome to Inflate. What can I help you with?
My name's Brendan. I'd like to book a call on Monday for 2 p.m.
Hold on a sec. Your call on Monday at 2 p.m. has been booked. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
In just a few seconds, I was able to call that number, ask for a particular time that I'd like to book in for, and then that time was directly sent into the calendar. This system would also let me know if the time I chose was unavailable. It would give me some close alternative times that I could choose as well. So in this video, you will learn exactly how to build this system where we can call up the AI and it's going to go ahead and book a meeting in GoHighLevel. The best part about this is that it requires no code whatsoever and it's super simple to follow along with. To build this, I'm going to be using Vapi.ai for the AI caller, and this is going to be connected to make.com to run the bookings automation. So jumping right into it, what we're going to need for this is make.com. So this is make.com right here. If you've used it before, it is an automations platform that allows us to build this sort of step-by-step process for processing automations. Alongside this, we're going to be using GoHighLevel to book our appointments into. So we're essentially just sending the request and putting that directly into our GoHighLevel appointments. And for the AI caller, we're going to be using Vapi.ai, which we're going to prompt and build out some functions to go ahead and book the call, sending a request to make, which is then going to send the booking into GoHighLevel. So I'm going to start off with Vapi.ai. If you haven't used this before, essentially what we're able to do is provide some instructions in a prompt form. And these instructions are what sort of just forms how the bot responds, how it acts, what its sort of personality is. We're able to just simply type that out in sort of just natural language with our prompts. And that's what's going to form our bot as to how it responds and how it acts. And then to give our assistant some actual functions, we've got a tab here called functions, which is how we're going to actually connect our external applications, just like make.com and GoHighLevel. We're going to be using functions and referencing them through the prompt. So I'll just go through the prompt here. This is the same one that I just demoed just a little bit ago. So what happens on Vapi is that we've got a first message, and when you call it up, it'll just read out that first message. So my one has said, hey, welcome to Inflate. What can I help you with? And so then our system prompt is just giving it the instructions. It says here, the system prompt can be used to configure the context, role, personality, instructions, and so on for the assistant. So my particular prompt for this assistant is, if the user wants to book a call, please ask them for their name as well as what time and day they would like to book a call, then run the booking function. If the booking function says the time was booked, give some of the times that were close to what they were looking for, only provide 3 different times max. For example, if they wanted 1 p.m. and some of the available times include 12 or 2 p.m., then give them those times. So the assistant that I built out here is purely just for booking calls. Obviously, this is something that you would put onto an existing system that has more sort of knowledge on a business, and then you'd want to then book the call. But obviously I'm just demoing the booking call function. Now just below this big prompt, I've got some conditioning that says read the times like words. For example, 1 p.m. is 1 p.m, 1:30 p.m. is 1:30 p.m. The reason I've done this is just so it doesn't start reading out the numbers sort of numerically. So it doesn't say 1:30, it will say 1:30 p.m. Just something to make sure it actually reads it like a human. The next tab here on Vapi is just the transcriber. So this is what takes our voice input, turns it into text, and then sends it into the system. Really, this is up to your choice what you want to use. I've got it set to the default here. All of these have different sort of pricing structures. So that's just something to be mindful of. Moving on to the voice tab, this is just how it sounds. So we can click here and get a whole host of different providers. 11 Labs works really well. At the moment, I've once again got it set to the default with Play HT, and it's just set to a random voice here with Melissa. Just below this, there's a whole heap of other configurations with background sounds, with emotions, speed, temperature, style, and whatnot. So you can really play around with this to get as custom as you like. But the most important part of this is our functions. So what I've set up here is a booking function, and this is how we're able to make that booking live on the call. So what I went ahead and did is hit new function, and I'll just click on the one I've already created. But just click new function, and what you'll get is just something like this. So what I've done is just called it booking. So I've called the function booking, and then I've given a description that says when the user wants to book a call. So pretty simple. And then just going back to the model, if we see here, I've said run the booking function, and I put that in sort of single quotations just to let it know that the function is called booking, and that's the one that I want to run. Then a part of our function, we have something called properties. And so I've added 2 properties here called name and booking time. And properties are just sort of values that we want to extract from the user to be sent to our sort of make system or GoHighLevel system. And what I've got here is I've created name, and all I've simply done is just typed name for the property, and then this is the name of the user for the property description. And I've created another one, booking time, and then this is the time and day the user would like to book. So once again, super simple stuff. It's simply just saving those values or whatever it finds relevant to assign to those values from the conversation that happens. And then it goes ahead and sends that data off to this URL here. And so this URL is a webhook from make.com. So jumping into the make.com automation, this is the sort of booking automation that I've built out for Vapi going directly into GoHighLevel. But I'll just start off block by block. And what I've got initially is a webhook block. And this webhook is used to receive requests from sort of just other external endpoints. And so we go ahead and click copy address to clipboard. So just create a new project and then put in a webhook. If you want to get access to the template used in this video, as well as all the prompts used in this video, as well as 20 other chatbot and automation templates, you can go ahead and sign up to my free resource hub link in the description. So heading back into Vapi, just go ahead and paste that URL that we created and just put it in the server URL. So once that is all set up, you're all done on the Vapi side of things. And now it's all onto make.com. So what we're doing here is once we've received that request, we're going to get a series of values from Vapi, and those values are going to be our date and time as well as the name of the user. And so the second block that I'm using in this process is an OpenAI block. And the point of this OpenAI block is to create a sort of time format that we can use to send and book an appointment within GoHighLevel. The reason we need to do this is because when we get that value back from Vapi and somebody said they'd like to book tomorrow at 2 p.m, the system has no idea what time it actually is. So we can use make.com to provide it with the current time as well as when they would like to book. So if they'd like to say, I want to book next week at 2 p.m, we can go ahead and see that they are talking about 7 days in advance and that we can book for 2 p.m. and we can format this time in the specific format that GoHighLevel wants to accept it and book an appointment with. So once again, you can go ahead and get access to this prompt with my free resource hub link in the description. But all we're doing is getting a GPT 3.5 turbo model. So we're just using the OpenAI GPT 3.5. I've added in a system prompt, and this just says, we have just asked the user when they would like to book a meeting. You'll be provided with the current date and their response. You must output the date and time they would like to book for the meeting in date time format. Only output the date time in ISO 8601 format. And so this format is just the format that GoHighLevel wants when we're sending this request. So that's all that is. I've then just said no notes / text. And then this here is just an example. So date format ISO 8601. Then we've got the year, the day, the month, and then we've got the time, the specific time. So that might be 2:30. And then we've got +10, which is just my time zone. So you would just configure that to be whatever time zone you'd like for the bookings, whatever your booking on GoHighLevel is set up for. And I've just got some more condition that says keep +10 as the time zone. Sometimes it was just forgetting that. So I just made sure to remember that. Below this, we've added another prompt for a user prompt, and we're just saying this is the current date time now. And so now is a variable stored within make.com, which provides us with the current date and time from make.com. So we just put in the now variable. Then all we're doing is saying this is when the user would like to book. And this has come directly from our function call, which just says message function call parameters, booking time. And that is once again coming directly from Vapi, whatever the user had said. So if they said tomorrow 1 p.m, this would just say tomorrow 1 p.m. So I'll go ahead and test this. If I just go ahead and right click on a block, I can say run this module only. And booking time, I can just say tomorrow 2 p.m. I just hit OK. And then as you can see here, we've got tomorrow's date at 2 p.m. Within my time zone. So that is accurate, and that information can be used when sent into GoHighLevel to book an appointment at that time. The next block in this process is an HTTP request block, and this is going to send a request to the GoHighLevel appointments API. And so all you need to do is get the rest.gohighlevel.com appointments URL. So just copying that directly in there from their documentation, or once again, just copying this template from my resource hub. Then going down to post as we're sending data off. So we're doing a post request, we're posting data off to this URL. Then we need authorization as our first header, and we're getting our API key that comes from GoHighLevel. Then just below this, we need another header called version with this date here. I believe that's just the version of the booking. So that's not to do with anything of the booking date. Then just below this, we've got a body type. So we're just sending some data in our body, and it's just set to raw JSON application /JSON. So that's just the type of data. Then in this body content, we're doing a calendar ID, and we're just pasting in the ID of the calendar that we want to book on GoHighLevel. We can go ahead and get this ID by going to our GoHighLevel calendar. This won't work on a service calendar type. Not sure why. That took me a long time to figure out. But if we go ahead and just use the event calendar type, click on these 3 dots and just click on share. We can actually click on this embed code, and then you'll see in the link here, if we just copy on the sort of bit of data right after /booking or booking/, that's our code. Just copy that, go back to make.com and paste that in as your calendar ID. Then just below this, we've got our selected time zone. So just typing in your time zone. So mine's Australia /Victoria. So just finding what your time zone is, putting it in there. And then below this, we've got selected slot, which has come directly from OpenAI. So we've obviously asked it for tomorrow 2 p.m. It's then going to take that that date. And then if we use choices.messages.content, click on here, and now you can see right here where the date is. We can just go ahead and put that in, and it's going to go and book on our calendar at that time. Then just below this, we're going to put in phone. So we want to book the appointment with whoever made this phone call, and we can directly take the phone number from Vapi. If we go to call in here, it will automatically send us all the data, and we can take our phone call or phone number directly from Vapi and book our GoHighLevel appointment with it. Now next to this, I've set up a router, and the router is meant to point the automation in 2 different directions. The purpose of this is if somebody were to book tomorrow 2 p.m. again, it would tell us from this request here that it's no longer available. So I've gone ahead and built this automation to go ahead and say if the data from our request contains no longer, which would just mean that the date is no longer available, that's when we want to run this bit of automation. Otherwise, let's just run this webhook response that says, great, we have booked your call. So if all is good and we didn't get any sort of no longer available message come up, we can go ahead and send the request to Vapi to say the call was booked and it is successful. And so to do that, we're just using a webhook response block, and that is really just sending the data back to Vapi within our request. And once again, right here, the no longer available, I've gone ahead and just clicked on data, which is the response that's outputted from GoHighLevel. And we can say that if it contains no longer, which just means it's got that big long sentence that says this time slot is no longer available. And I'm just saying if it contains no longer, it means the booking wasn't able to go through. So that means we now want to go down this path from the router. And so this goes directly into a tool block, which sets 2 variables. Now the purpose of this block is to set a start time and an end time. And the reason that we're creating this sort of start time and end time is that we're going to send this data off to GoHighLevel one more time, and we're going to ask it for all of the available times from one date to the end of another date. And then we're going to take all these times, which are our available time slots, and we're going to send that back to Vapi and then tell the user that these are the close alternative times to what you were looking for. Would any of these interest you? And then they can obviously book one of those times in. The system will run again, book the call, and then obviously the system's then worked. So what we're doing here is we're taking our date, which is the choices.messages.content from our OpenAI block. We're taking that timestamp and we're actually formatting that into a month, day, Y. So we just want that month, day, Y date. And then what we're doing is turning that into an epoch time, which is a count of seconds since 1970. You don't really need to know all that. Essentially, it's just a format that GoHighLevel wants to understand the bookings that are available. So all we need to do is take our date, format that to month, day, year. Then we're going to format that date again. As you can see here, we're formatting that date, and then we're just typing X. And X will actually format the date in that epoch time that GoHighLevel wants. And then once we've got this date, we're doing a times 1000 because GoHighLevel wants it in milliseconds. And then once that's done, you'll have the epoch time of that date in milliseconds. You can go ahead and just download my template and you'll get access to this. And then just below this, we've got our end time. And all I'm doing is the exact same thing, but I'm just adding 1 day ahead. And then I'm getting the epoch time in milliseconds of that as well. And so the purpose of this is that I'm getting 12 a.m. from the day that they wanted to book, and I'm getting 12 a.m. of the next day. So we're just getting all of that time in between. And then we can send that information to GoHighLevel with the start time and end time. And then GoHighLevel is going to bring back all of the available times in that sort of time period. And then we can offer that to the user to book in any of those available time slots. So moving on to the next block, we've got an HTTP request block. And all we're doing is making a request to GoHighLevel.com v1/appointments and then /slots. So all we're looking at is getting all of the available calendar slots. So pretty much it's all the same as the other one, but we've just got calendar ID within the actual URL here. And then we've got our start date and end date. Once again, you can access to this within my free Resource Hub link in the description. And then the only header we need is authorization, and then adding in our GoHighLevel API key, as well as this bit of bearer there. And then the next block, we're just sending this bit of data with this bit of data. So number 6 data is this one, and this will just say that booking is no longer available. And then these will just say these are the available time slots. And we're just sending that back into Vapi to sort of figure out itself whether or not the call was booked or not. So now I'll do a live demo of both of these flows working, and you'll see how they both work. If you are a business owner and you're looking for a system like this to be integrated in a variety of different ways, you can go ahead and book a call with me. Use my Calendly link in the description.
Hey, welcome to Inflate. What can I help you with?
Hey, I'd like to book a call tomorrow at 1 p.m. My name is Brendan.
Give me a moment. Your call at 1 p.m. tomorrow has been booked, Brendan.
So if I just click on the GoHighLevel request and scroll down a bit, we can see that the booking was successfully made. And obviously it was sent off and told us it was successful. If I go ahead and click into GoHighLevel and go into my appointments, we can see here that the booking has gone in for tomorrow at 1 p.m. and that's worked perfectly. The reason you can see here that it has captured my email as well is because I'm already in the system, but if I wasn't already in the system and you called it on a different number, it would just go through as the phone number instead. So now what I'm going to try to do is book it at the exact same time, and I should get a set of available other times that I can book since that time has obviously already been taken.
Hey, welcome to Inflate. What can I help you with?
Hey, I'd like to book a call tomorrow for 1 p.m. My name is Brendan.
One moment. It looks like the 1 p.m. slot for tomorrow is no longer available. However, here are some other available times for tomorrow at 12:30 p.m.
So as you can see there, it knew that 1 p.m. was already booked and just offered some close alternative times that I could see were available times, and then offered those times. And then if the system was still running and I told it I'd like to book 2 p.m., it would just go ahead and book it for 2 p.m. instead. So once again, if you want to get access to this template and also the prompts as well from Vapi, you can go ahead and sign up for my free Resource Hub link in the description, and you can get access to all of this for free. If you are a business owner and you're looking for a system like this to be integrated in a variety of different ways, you can go ahead and book a call with me using my calendar link in the description, and we can discuss some of the ways in which we can implement this into your business and have it really help out. If you want to see more builds just like this, definitely drop a comment below and just let me know what you'd like to see.